G'day folks, in this video I'm going to show you how to solve the 4x4x4 octahedron version 1 or version 2. The really good news is that the solving technique for each of these puzzles is the same. This one is in a true octahedron shape. This one is called the Octahedron 2. It's actually, I believe, an icosahedron, and if you consider that piece there is a face all of its own, that's a face, and we've got another one here. So we've got, I believe, a bunch more faces than this puzzle here. And what's effectively happened is that if you look at the reds, it's like that red face has been kind of pushed up a bit. So the centerpiece is now on a perch. But you can sort of see the shape of the faces is kind of the same. It's got the same sort of pieces. What else is different? Well, you've got the rectangular edges. These are trapezia. On the corners here, what we've actually got are this one has two separated stickers for that red. This one has one sticker, but these two stickers can't separate. So I can't turn down there, so they still function as one piece. And then of course the center here, that's the same, just bigger on one of them. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to do a solve on both of them. I did do a side-by-side solve on my own to convince myself that they solve the same, and they definitely do. So I'm actually going to put this one aside and just concentrate on the octahedron version 1. If you can solve this, then you can definitely solve the octahedron 2. There are no new issues. And so the first thing that I'm going to do after scrambling, of course, and I'll just do that now, and you can see that is scrambled, and it's probably helpful to have this one. We can see that there's no actual official solved state for this thing. I can just turn that like that, and the whole thing is still solved. I can decide what faces I want where. And because of that, when I come to this one, I can start with any four colours in here that I want. So if I just look over here, I can see purple, blue, green, orange. Great, that's going to be my first centre. That's done. How about that? Calling them centres, of course, because that's effectively what they are on the 4x4 cube. So given that that's the case, on the opposite, what do I want? Well, I want the other four colours. So I've used orange, purple, blue, green. The other colours are yellow, red, white and grey. So I'm going to go up here and make sure I've got yellow, red, white and grey. There's white and grey. I'd like to get a yellow, red up there as well. I'll grab this red piece here, and I might actually just turn that around. Make a pair with this yellow. So we'll bring that up, turn it off, and now I've got white, red, yellow, grey on one side, purple, blue, green, orange on the other. Great, I've got two of them now reduced. And now what I do is follow through these last four. There's a much quicker centre reduction than, say, the rhombic dodecahedron, and deal with these pieces. So I know this has got to be a blue-purple here. So I'm going to find a blue-purple, and there's one of them. Is it in the right order? It's not, because you can see that it's not orienting with that one. So that blue is correct, and if I have that blue turned like that, I want a purple in that position. Let's move that one up, and then I can turn it around, and that's done. What's going to go over here? Yellow, grey. There's a yellow on the top. Let's turn that grey down to make a yellow-grey pair, and see if that is the correct orientation. I believe it is. Yep, beautiful. So that's that third centre done. We keep moving up. We've got to get a green-blue sitting here. There's a green, there's a blue, and if the green is on this side, we want the blue piece to go there so we can turn them around. So let's put it there first. Let's bring it down. And now we can turn that around into position like that. The other stuff we've done is still there. Red, yellow. We don't have a red, yellow, so let's make one. We've got the red on the bottom here. Let's first of all make a red, yellow, and then see if that is going to work, and it is, because the red's going to be on top. Here we go, that's done. And the fifth center, we need orange green. And we've got an orange green here, but it's the wrong orientation. So if I was to turn around like that, you can see the green is on the top, the orange needs to be on the top over here. So I want to match up this orange with the green. How do I do that? Well, what I'm going to do is actually turn this, I don't want to disturb that, so I'm going to turn it off because I don't care about these pieces at the moment. Turn it off, put the green down there, and then bring it back. And, no, in fact that hasn't done it at all. That's very annoying. That's okay. I'm going to get the, let's have a think. I want the green to be in that position. Okay, just got to do a bit of thinking here, folks. So I'm going to move the green out first of all, put the orange in that position. Now, I want to get the green here, so I'm going to turn that around like that, which keeps the orange on that side. Move it out again, put the orange back, and now turn it down. Now I've got the green and the orange where I want them, and I can say, okay, well that's got to go down into this position. So let's turn the position up, turn it around, and bring it back. Let's take stock where we're up to. We started here, the blue, orange, yellow, grey. Green, blue, red, yellow's done. The orange, green's done. I now want to try and get a white, red. Now, that red is in the correct place. I need a white to go there, which means if they were placed, they'd be up here, white on the top. And so the white needs to be there. The red needs to come up to the top. And so what I really need is a white on the right and a red on the left. So again, I'm going to do the same sort of thing. I'm going to turn that like that. And remember, this face has not, or this center has not yet been dealt with. So now that, remember I needed a white on the top right and a red on the top left, I've now got that. Turn it up and bring it back. And that completes that fifth center. Now the sixth center, if you're really, really lucky, it'll be solved, but I'm never really, really lucky. And so what we're going to end up with is either a swap of two pieces or a three cycle. Now what have we got here? That white is placed, purple has to go there, orange to there, grey to there. So I've got a three cycle. I could have found that it was set up like that. Purple and orange placed, white and grey swap. If that's the case, then I just turn it one turn to create one solved piece and a three cycle. What do I want a three cycle? Well, I'm going to be able to solve or cycle those pieces home. Let's have a look at that on a solved puzzle now. Alright, well let's carry out a corner piece series on this puzzle. Let's turn the upper face as the normal outer upper face. The left and rights, let's turn them as the inners only. And we'll see what happens. There we go. Now, if we look carefully, we can see that shouldn't be there, that shouldn't be there, that shouldn't be there, everything else should. So we've actually created a three cycle of pieces in this direction. The yellow goes to here, the green goes to here, the white goes to there. And that's how we can cycle home the last three or so of these pieces. Okay, well that being the case, what we can see is that with our three cycle, we've got the purple over to there, the orange to here, the grey back to here. So these two, well that one needs to roll. So I need to get this grey one up to the upper face here. So the way I'm going to do that is just a couple of setup moves. Front prime, that puts them out the way, then a right turn, then a front, and now those two are in position, and that grey is there, so I need to do an up prime. Okay, now everything's set up where I need it to be, so this is my upper face, so away I go. Get everything aligned. Okay, up, and an inner right, up prime, inner left. Now it's all done. What I've got to do now is undo those setup moves, so I'll take care of that upturn first. And then you remember that to deal with this, I had these pieces here and that there, so I had to turn that off. Then I had to turn the right face back, and then I had to turn that on again. And you can see that everything else back here is as it should be, and in fact the sixth face of centres has now been dealt with. That's how we deal with the last of those. Now the next stage of the solve is to reduce the edges, and I'm going to kind of reduce them and place them at the same time. So I'm going to first look and just see if there's any that are already ready to go in. For example, is there a green purple? No, there's not. Okay, what about a green red? No. Blue white? Nope. What about white orange? Yes, there is. There's a white orange, and that can go in there. So I'm just going to try and get this unlocked. There we go. That's better. And I'm always going to do the full 4 moves of the edge piece series to keep my centre pieces where they are. And you can see that's gone in. So I'm now going to call that my first face, these 4 pieces around here. So have I got an orange green? Nah. What about a green red? This is not essential, by the way. It's just if I've got some, I'm going to use them. I don't have a... Oh, I did have a green red. There it is. So, yep, I can certainly place it. It was right near it. I can certainly place this green red. I can't just turn it up into it like that. It'll be misoriented, so I need to turn its position across, then turn it up, and then undo those moves. So that's 2 of those placed. Let's now go and make a green orange, because I'm pretty sure I don't have one of them. So to make a green orange, what I want to do, you can see here there's a green piece. I'm going to turn it down and match it with this orange, and just turn it off onto another face and replace it with something that I haven't yet done. Okay, that's done. I can turn that back and just readjust my centres so all is well. Now I've got my green orange piece. How can I put it in to there? Well, turn it off, turn its position, put it on, turn it back. So that's, you can see 3 of them done. Now a red white is what's next. And we don't have one, so I'm going to make one. Here we go, red and white. Bring them together, move them off onto a different face. And then turn those back. And there's my red white. That's got to go in here. And again, I can't bring it down this way because the white will be wrongly oriented. So instead, yep, I'm going to bring it down here, turn its position over first, and bring it down. You can see it matches up. Then undo those moves. And so what that's done, looking from the top, you can see that's kind of like a white cross. It's got the first 4 edges dealt with. I'm now going to go and see what I can place of what's left before I start making them again. So I don't have a purple orange, don't have a blue green, don't have a yellow red, don't have a grey white. This is quite annoying. I normally have quite a few more than this. Do I have a purple grey? No, of course not. What about a purple blue? No. Yellow blue? Yes, finally. Okay, so I can at least place that thing. And the last one, a yellow grey, I'm pretty sure I don't have one of them. Okay, so I'm going to go and make some now. So I'm going to concentrate on making these 4 pieces. So a purple blue is what I need. Well, let's do this. Let's move that purple up to the blue, take it off onto, say, this face. Apologise for the turning. Here we go, and we'll bring that back. And we've now got a purple blue sitting here, which we can place in this position. Okay, and turning around, I'm looking for a grey purple. Don't have that, so I better make it. Alright, now I've got a grey and a purple on the same line. So what I'm going to do here is basically move the grey up into the purple's position, like that. And I'm now going to flip this edge. I'm also going to end up flipping another edge. So let's just turn it like this. I'm going to involve 3 edges, and to flip this one I'm going to take it out to here and involve this piece. And then bring it back in here, but reverse. And so to do that, I'll move its position up onto that face, then turn it onto its position and undo those moves. Now what we're going to see with that is I flip that piece. I actually also flipped that one as well. This one remained untouched. So now that I've done that, I can turn that back, and I've created my purple grey that I can fill in here, and that's not going to turn up into that position. How else can I do it? I don't really want to disrupt these, so what I'm actually going to do is just put it into position for now. And I know it's flipped, and in fact that's not where it should have been. I'll put it over here. Well, that's even better, because now I can put it into this position and turn its position, turn it up, and then undo. And so that is the third one of these done. The last one is a yellow grey. Now again, what have I got? A yellow yellow and a grey grey. So this time I'm going to actually do the same thing. I'm going to bring this yellow out here. I'm going to flip around this piece. I'm going to leave this piece intact and flip that one. So to leave this piece intact, I turn this one onto the piece I want to leave intact to begin with. Okay, that's done. Let's turn that back. I was trying to make a yellow grey, which I've made now, so how can we put that one in? Well, let's turn, as a setup, let's just turn that up first. No, I don't like that at all. Let's forget that setup. Oh no, actually I'm happy with that. Let's do it. So I'm going to put the yellow grey into its position flipped. Okay, undo that setup. And now I know that's got to be flipped, so I'm going to go ahead and probably flip this one and keep this one intact. There we go. And you can see those top 4 edges are done. They correspond to the bottom 4 edges are done. And that just leaves the ones along the middle still to do. So let's see what we've got. Are any of them already in position? Grey yellow? No. Green purple? No. So it looks like none of these are done, so I'm going to start by saying, well, what do I need? A red yellow. So I'm going to grab the red, going to push out the yellow, and I'm going to end up flipping one of these. Let's flip this one. I know I'll flip this one. Let's actually think. I'll flip this one, leave that one intact, do the same thing that I was doing before. Okay, that's done. We'll turn back those faces. We've got ourselves a red yellow, and you can see that one is flipped in position. I'll deal with that nearer to the end. So to place that red yellow over there, what I'm going to do is firstly I'm going to cycle that to there, this to here, and the red yellow will come back to there. There we go, and you can see that is done. That one's in. What else have we got? Blue green? No. Purple orange? No. And a grey? No. So we don't have any of them, so let's go and make another one. Let's make the blue green in the same way. So grab the blue, push out the green. You can see now that I can reflip this piece. At the same time as I'm flipping the one that I'm interested in. Okay, so that's back. Turn that face back and I've got myself a blue-green. Let's cycle those ones through. There we go. That's in. By the way, if it didn't go in correctly and was flipped, we'll just deal with them at the end. No problem. Now we've got a purple white and an orange green. Well, I need a purple orange. Okay, well, how am I going to do that? Well, I'm actually going to turn the purple, in fact, let's turn the orange, turn this around temporarily so that I can bring the purple up and push the orange out and flip that one, just like I've been doing. Okay, now go ahead. Okay, now that's been done. I want to bring that back and I want to return this face so that all the centers are correct. Let's have a look what I've got. A purple, orange and a grey, yellow. I've got that in position but flipped. So what we've got in actual fact now is a swap of two of these edges. So if we look at what's happening, we've actually got the grey and the orange needing to swap, and we've got the white and the purple needing to swap. Now what I am going to do first is flip this edge using one of these as well. So I'm this time going to flip those two and leave this one intact. Here we go. Alright, so now that we reassess things, what have we got? We've got the purple needing to go there, the white needing to go here, the orange needing to go there, the grey needing to come back here. So what we're going to do to deal with this is a corner piece series, and I'm going to show you that on a solved puzzle now. Alright, well let's do a corner piece series. This time we're going to cycle the upper, we're going to move the upper faces and the left faces as the outer faces, and when we do the right face we're going to turn both parts, the chunky right. So it's an up, then it's a right, and it's an up prime, and then just the left outer. Okay, now what we'll notice first of all is that some centers here have moved, but we're not concerned with them yet. The other thing we notice is that three pieces here only, three of these little edge pieces have also cycled. So this piece, the purple, has gone to here, the yellow has gone to here, and that green has gone to there. That's exactly the same piece movement as on the upper face of a standard cube. That's good to know, and that'll help us get these last pieces home. With that in mind, what I know is that I want the orange to go across to here. That's the first thing. And this grey is going to go down to that position. So let's think what's going to go down to here. Well, this one is going to come back to there. I'd like that one to be a white piece if I could, so that it replaces that. The problem is if I do that, then that grey which goes there will end up here. So let's see if we can't get one of the other two that are involved down into that position. So the first thing I'd probably do, this purple, I guess what I do is turn these two off, get the purple down, and then bring it around like that, and then turn them back. As long as I remember those setup moves, I'm going to be able to cycle those three. So let's go ahead and do that now. And so I'm turning the upper face, and then the right fully, the upper anti-clockwise, and just the left outer. Okay, that's all done. So just got to undo those setup moves. So we'll turn that off and out the way. We'll bring that back there, and you can sort of be guided by the colours. They don't actually matter really now where we turn these. So all we're thinking is, well, what do we got? We've got 4 faces with everything done, 6 faces with everything done, and we've just got a purple and a white effectively to swap. So instead of swapping them, what we're going to do is involve a third piece of the same colour. So my first port of call is I'm going to make this face, I'm going to turn this around so the white piece is there. So I'm going to do something like, firstly turn it to the back. No, that didn't work, so Now let's turn this around again. There we go. Purple, white, that's good. Purple go to there. The white is going to go to that position, and whatever is in that position I need to come back and be a white. And so this white piece is a great candidate. How do I get that down to there? Oh, it's quite a bit easier. Turn just that inner slice. Quite a bit easier if the puzzle is aligned. Just that inner slice down, and then there's that white piece. Turn it over to there, and we're ready to go once again. Okay, got to undo those setup moves. Put that back there, that back there, and you can see that all of the edges are now dealt with. That's as hard as it gets for them. That leads to the final stage of the solve, which is the centres. And these little triangle pieces here. Now, I should clarify, I've been calling these the centres. They're, I guess, the true centres. So really what I'm talking about is these things which function as corners. And so to solve them, I'm going to use the corner piece series. Always turning outer turns. I love the corner piece series. It's very adaptable. And I'm just going to start by seeing what I can cycle home. Well, let's cycle home the yellow one here. We'll do an anti-clockwise turn to deal with this one. No, we won't. Yes, we will. Okay, and that has placed that yellow piece. I like working in batches, so I'm going to try and place the grey now. Turn it around like that. So these three going around this way, that'll be a standard corner piece series. Upper turn clockwise to begin with. Okay, now I've got those four faces done. Let's go and have a look what we've got here. We've actually got those two to swap and those two to swap, so that's good. I'm going to cycle home one of them to begin with. Let's get the green home. And that'll leave us the last three. The really good thing about this is orientation is irrelevant. All we need to get done is cycling these pieces, just placing them, and we're good to go. There we go, and you can see that's all done. If you want your orange next to your red, you just move it there. All of the faces are now solved, and so that has completed that. There is, however, one possibility that you could get, and I want to show you that now. Alright, and the situation is this. What we've got is the dreaded swap of two little centre pieces or corners. These little triangles, whatever you want to call them. And that's all. Everything else on the puzzle is solved. Now if you have this, what you need to do is create a 3 cycle of those pieces. So to do that, you just turn the upper face one turn, like that. Now that has fixed that problem. Unfortunately, it's created a whole set of new ones. So what we need to do now is resolve these pieces first of all, and then resolve these pieces, and then finally cycle home those centres. So in terms of resolving the corners, I mean, it's exactly the same thing as we've done before. So I'll get one of them in place and then skip through. And so I know that the yellow has to go back to here, and so I might also involve this orange piece here. So I'll put the orange piece up to the top there. So just using the same sort of setups that I used before. Okay, and we can now go ahead and cycle those ones. Just undoing some setups here. Alright, now what we can see is all of that is still intact. It's only here where we're changing things, and that yellow is back in its correct face. The red is also back in its correct face. So now we've got the orange and blue to swap. Well, we don't have to swap them, we just have to cycle them. and so we can notice that blue has to go there. We'd like an orange piece up the top here. Well, there's an orange piece there, so let's just turn it to the top and go ahead and cycle those ones home. I said I was going to skip, but it was quick enough. I thought, what the hey, let's just do it. That's done. Undo that setup move, and now all of our centerish pieces are completed. The next bit is just to complete these, and we do them in the same way. I will just do one of them and then skip through to the end. So we're looking, for example, let's have a think. We ideally would like our pieces to go across this way. What can we do? They all are going to go the other direction by the look of it. So that's okay. So we'll just do the mirror of the sequence that we used before. And so if I want the red to go to there, the orange is going to come down to that position. Now what I would like to do is get a piece that I haven't done yet, which is this yellow, and put it down there to start with. So the red will solve, the orange will not solve, but the yellow will solve. So that'll get two of these things done. And so in order to do that, it's the upper outer, and now it's the left full, upper and right outer. Okay, that's done. Turn back that setup move, you can see that yellow's in, the red's in, and that one was the other one. So we'll just keep working our way through these and cut back in when they're done. And I've just finished doing the last of those edges. Let's have a look what we've got now. We've got an orange, white, red, blue, and a purple. So let's go about starting to resolve these things. And so let's do a piece movement there. We'll get the red in and we'll get the blue in as well. So again, this is just the outer turns. Here we go. And you remember we started this little problem section with two swapped little tiny triangles. We've now got it back to the last three. So that's the fix for that. Let's finish this off. All done. And so that hopefully is a comprehensive tutorial on how to solve this thing. And remember, it works exactly the same for the Octahedron version 2, and you'll be able to use the exact same techniques. So there it is, the octahedrons are solved.